in his possession. And, I don't know what he was doing. The news covered it for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, like everything, it disappeared. But he went on to Area 51, in an area where he didn't supposed to be, and they didn't even say anything. They just shot him.
Oh, my.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness.
So people, please.
Wow.
There was another talk show host that actually wanted to get a whole bunch of people last summer to go to Area 51 and step on the property. And I actually got an argument with her off the air. I actually called her up, and we were talking and fighting over it. I said, why would you risk your listeners, your fans, to go to Area 51? Worst case scenario, somebody's going to get killed. Best case scenario, you're going to get a whole bunch of people arrested, and they're going to have felonies.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah, that's
not
crazy.
fun.
Mm. Okay.
Hey, but speaking of fun stuff, Julie, don't we have something coming up pretty soon to go do that might be fun?
We do. Just on kind of the fun side of ufology, we're actually going to be going to allien-park this year.
Oh, wow.
And going to the cons is kind of mine and my daughter's pastime things where my daughter's an avid cosplayer. Gary, do you know what a cosplayer is?
I do not. Why don't you tell me and the listeners?
So a cosplay is costume role play.
Okay.
And it really does participate very well into the world of anime, the Japanese cartoons. So that's how it started. It was pretty prevalent in the early 2000s, where they would hold conferences and people would dress up as their favorite cartoon or whatnot. So allien-park has a little bit to do with that, where part of it is dressing up as your favorite alien or Star Trek fan or anything to do with science fiction. But more so what the bigger attractions are the panels of guests that are going to be speaking there. One, which is interesting, is William Shatner. Another one is Giorgio Tsoukalos. Andy, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but you know who I'm talking about, the guy with the hair. And
Ancient Aliens?
Ancient Aliens, right. It's that guy. So the cool thing about this is that it's loaded up with booths and vendors selling all sorts of alien paraphernalia. You'll have the cosplayers dressed up as their favorite science fiction character. And some of these people take it to the hilt. Let me tell you, my daughter's got my garage turned upside down right now in preparation for her cosplay event. I should take pictures and send this to you. It's ridiculous. She builds armor and the wigs and the whole 9 yards. And her and I actually have a Facebook page called Anime Mom that we post the pictures and share the people going to the different the conferences, which I'm sure after we come back from allien-park, I'm going to be flooding my Facebook page. But one of the things that we're also doing is representing MUFON Orange County. Andy, you want to take a little bit more tell everyone a little bit more about that?
Well, I do want to talk about MUFON some more, but I think you really should talk a little bit more about who we might be bringing to the allien-park.
Okay, so we are going to be actually entertaining guests from out of the country. I have my best girlfriend I've known since I was a teenager, and she lives in Spain, and her partner, who is out of the UK, will be joining her, and they're going to be coming out and staying with us for the month of June. So my girlfriend Sandra, if you don't mind, Gary, I'd like to do a shout out to her in Castilian. Sandra, no te puedo esperar a verte. I'm telling her I can't wait to see her. But they're going to be joining us, and it's going to be kind of a first for them being exposed to ufology. I don't even know how much they know about how far we've gotten into it. But that's going to be kind of exciting to bring kind of some green people from, out of the country. I don't know if that makes sense, green people, and then we're talking about aliens, novices.
Well, new to aliens, but we've had T-shirts made, so they're going to be wearing T-shirts with us to join right in. So we should have a good time with that.
No, it sounds like it.
Now, yeah. I've never been to a con, so I'm looking forward to it because I understand a lot of people dress up as aliens when they go, so that should be really cool. I'm a board member of MUFON Orange County, and I'm not going to be representing them at the con. I believe MUFON International will have their own booth there. So anyone wanting to learn more about MUFON, go find the booth and talk to them. Speaking about MUFON Orange County, what's really cool is we have a once-a-month lecture, and that happens every third Wednesday of the month in Costa Mesa, and you could certainly find out all about that at the MUFON Orange County website. But we have really great speakers. We had Steve Mara and Barry Fitzgerald of Zohar Global Group UK talk about the Project Doorway. And they also put out, I want to say, a free digital UFO type magazine each month. It's called Phenomena Magazine. And if you look it up online, it's one word, phenomenamagazine.co.uk. And for anyone interested in reading and having magazines monthly to look at, this is, again, a free digital magazine, a new one each month. It's about 60 pages long, and you get to download it and have it at your fingertips, and you can go in there and look at any past monthly magazines they had. So great opportunity to read more information that way. And the next speaker I'm kind of looking forward to next month, Jonathan Dover. He's going to be talking about Navajo Rangers. Now, what this is about is Navajo police officers and the type of training that they do to deal with the work that they find and, the day-to-day work they do on the reservation. And their training has to do with how to deal with ghosts, Bigfoot, UFOs, and other items. So that's going to be interesting to hear why they need the training. How often do they run into these items? It might be kind of cool to visit and see when they happen.
Oh, yeah. That sounds very interesting.
I mean, if there's a spot out in the desert where all this stuff happens in one place all the time, I'd like to go check it out.
Well, you're braver than
really
me.
Cool.
You're much braver than me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Me too. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, after a margarita, we could drive just about anywhere, I think, up in the mountains. Well,
I'm going to get dragged into this again. Huh?
Yeah. Well, because, again, I'm working at MUFON OC. Everyone working there, the board of directors, we each have a little project to take on. And they gave me a project to review that's kind of wrapping up, so I'm kind of getting into it at the tail end, but it's been an ongoing project for several years now, possibly even 10 years, and it's called UFO DAS, and it's just UFO DAS, and if you were to look that up, you would find some information online already, and if you were to look up the name Ron Olch, RONOLCH, you would be able to find a YouTube, which would go about 30 minutes to learn all about this system and the project and how it works. And what we're talking about, UFO DAS, what it means, broken down, Unidentified Flying Object Data Acquisition System. So what this is, it's a software you run on a laptop or a PC, and it's dialed into cameras on tripods with equipment and software to track nighttime or daytime objects in the sky in an automatic mode. So day or night, you could have these cameras set up, and they would locate and track and record flying objects up in the sky. And it would be both telephoto and wide-angle lenses. And while you're recording, it's collecting other data, directions, and pan speed, elevations, all kinds of data. So we're actually working with Ron and several others to develop this system via a grant from MUFON OC, and hoping to see it to its completion here in the next few months to wrap it up. And at that point, they'd probably will have their website ready to go. Just it's UFO DOS is the website, and they'll have a store where you can buy bits and pieces or the whole system and have your very own UFO tracking system to set up wherever you like.
That's interesting.
So this is going to be a very, very interesting and exciting new way to put something in automation to go look for UFOs.
Well, there's certainly a lot of them up in the sky at night. That's what is really interesting. I've had a couple MUFON investigators on my show in the last month and a half, and some of the stories they have told me actually just, convinced me all the more that there is, things, coming near Earth or coming and visiting Earth, I should say. And it also made me so much more aware that there's a lot more abductions going on than a lot of people even realize.
My gosh. No, it's, and as we pointed out in the last show, David Pallades in his missing 411 books, just noting how many people are missing, go missing from national parks.
And that's so
amazing.
Scary. Yeah, and, again, I don't know if you guys know who Mary Joyce is. She runs a UFO Bigfoot reporting center out of Cashiers, North Carolina, almost like David Davenport's National Reporting Center. And, she had a person come up to her a few years ago that has the highest government clearance you can probably get, or pretty much, and gave her some information, and also was explaining that, there's an alien race supposedly in North Carolina at one of these underground military bases, which I hear they're even expanding at this point, that is supposedly sharing technology with the military. But she said from the information she got that these particular aliens are not the ones you'd want to run into. They're not friendly towards humans.
Darn.
In other words, they might look at you as a Big Mac. They're cannibal. They're cannibal.
Oh my God.
Oh man, well, you brought this up in our last show, and I went and I saw her website, Mary, and she's got a lot going on there. She is very busy.
Oh yeah.
Lots of details there to look at, but have not yet made contact chatting with her.
Oh yeah, she'll be back on my show here. I think in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, anything to learn about underground bases and aliens and with contact with the government and any kind of conspiracies, that's always interesting, and that certainly will help boost our stories that we want to write. And pretty soon, we're going to be jumping into our next book. Of course, we talked about the one we just published before, Allien-Park Dunes. And, of course, the Dunes is the Great Sand Dunes National Park of southern Colorado. And as a matter of fact, this UFO DOS project has a camera looking at that park now.
Interesting.
They've had a camera sitting there watching for any type of UFO activity for a while now. It's one of their test vehicles. But so we released that book and our story about that park, and we'll be working on the next one Allien-Park Caves, which is about the